Well, it's definitely, low latency latency combined with the sports application is super hot topic, a lot of growth. There's just a lot of content that needs to be delivered, and services are trying to figure out how to do it, more
Yeah.
reliably. I would love to talk about where you see, as so it's one thing to run sort of the base level of technologies, let's just for sake of discussion, WebRTC with H.264, maybe VP8, VP9, and those are generally, again, emphasis on generally supported in a lot of browser ecosystems, and sort of ubiquitous on certain computing devices. But the minute you want to add Dolby Vision, as you already referenced, the minute that you say, hey, we need to increase resolution, therefore, I really care about my bit rate and my quality. And so there's added codec complexity. And, we add a few more things. All of a sudden, this gets hard really fast. And especially it complicates the encoding piece. So I'm just curious if you can share, some insights in the way that Dolby is thinking about how to manage that, and of course, one way is to adopt a solution like BPU, but maybe you can tell a little bit of the, of the journey or the technology progression, to deliver higher resolution, higher quality, lower bit rates, and then still keep the latencies low.
So traditionally with services like Millicast and also Theo Live, we've been focusing on H.264, AVC. And the reason we've been doing that is because the devices out there, for the services that we're running, we want to be able to support decoding without putting too much, without taxing the playback devices too much.
So in other words, use a native hardware encoder instead of software. Yeah,
it helps with CPU load on the device. It helps keep the battery from draining too quickly. And we've seen with some services where we get analytics on the service, we're really looking at the performance on those low-end devices.